Perineum, but we'll repeat that a bit later. So this is like to make completion to complete the basically the basic structure of the pelvis. So that's okay. So this is the pelvic outlet. Okay, below the pelvic outlet is the perineum. Okay, so, and then perineum, like I said, we have superficial perineal pouch and deep perineal pouch. And so first we have deep, the superficial perineal pouch, and then we have the skin, well, superficial fascia, perineum, and then we have the skin. Okay. Collis fascia is the fascia, and then collis fascia, it continues with the scarpus fascia to the anterior abdominal wall. So that's that. The other thing that we get that it is important clinically is the diameter between the promontory and the symphysis pubis. So there's 3 conjugata or conjugate. So how many conjugates do we have? Who can tell me?
3.
With 3 conjugates. Okay, let's count them. First, we have the anterior posterior, which is the true conjugata or conjugate. That is from the upper part of the symphysis pubis to the sacral promontory, and it's how many centimeters?
10.5.
11 and a half. 11 and a half. And the second conjugata is at the midpoint of symphysis pubis. Obstetric, right? The mid part of symphysis pubis to the sacral promontory, obstetric, and that is what?
10.5.
10 and a half. Okay. And then we have the last, which would be diagonal conjugata, which is the inferior border of the symphysis pubis, and then to the, and that's 11 and a half. So we have 11 and a half, 10 and a half, and then 12 and a half. That's 12 and a half. Okay, so this is 12 and a half. So what's the importance of this? So the clinically important conjugata is what? Obstetrics, right? Obstetric conjugata. Why? So this is the narrowest, and the head of the fetus has to go through that area. So can we measure this? How can we measure this?
No, but we can estimate it by diagonal. What was
Diagonal.
Diagonal conjugata.
conjugate.
How do we do that?
Measure.
Okay, so this is referred to as the vaginal touche. Okay, so basically this is the distance. Okay, from sacral promontory to the lower margin of the symphysis pubis. Okay, so let's say this is like 12 centimeters. So what if it's 12?
It's not
So
for
10 or
No, we have to subtract 12. What?
by 2 or 1.
All right, minus 1.5 or 2. Okay, let's subtract the most, like 2. If this is 12. Okay, if we subtract it, we subtract 2. So what happens? We have 10. Okay, so 10, is it normal, 10?
No, this is more.
Yeah, it's normal. Okay, it has to be like 10 and a half. If it's like below 9, okay, normally, so below 10 and a half, or like 9 is an indication for like cesarean sections, sections. Okay. So, is that clear? I want one of you to repeat this. This is important for you clinically. And everybody do vaginal touche. Here, Burak, you start. Do a vaginal touche. Right. Right. Tara, you do it. Okay. Lisa. Right. Do it. Okay. Yeah, touch the promontory. Okay. So, who wants to repeat what we said?
What's the...
You will measure this area from here to here.
Also, I will measure my hand.
You measure your own.
Okay, so who wants to repeat this? What we said? How many conjugates? Okay, let's do it all together. How many conjugates do we have? 3. 1.
True conjugate.
Second.
Obstetric
Okay,
conjugate.
everybody. I want everybody to. Okay, I want everybody voice. Okay, first, let's start from the top. 1. True conjugate. Second.
Obstetric conjugate.
Obstetric. And 3.
Diagonal.
Diagonal. Okay, so the true conjugate is how many centimeters? 11 and a half. and obstetric
12.5.
10 and a half,
12 and a half.
12 and a half. Okay. And so what do we do in vaginal touche? What do we find? Diagonal measurement, and then we subtract.
1.425.
Right, minus 1.5 or 2. Okay. And if it's below what?
9, if it's below 9,
And then
C section.
C sections, right? Okay. So that's about it for there. Let's look at the models now. Okay, so like I said, we have the pelvic diaphragm, pelvic floor. You can grab one of these. You can grab one of these and look at the pelvic floor. And so we have, okay, just grab one of these, yeah. So we have levator ani muscle. Levator ani muscle. So what parts? So we have, which parts do we have that make up levator ani muscle?
3
One.
parts.
Okay, 3. 1.
Pubococcus.
Right, pubococcus. It extends from the body of the pubis and it goes all the way back to the coccyx. Okay, and that's a superficial one. And when we go a little bit deeper, the other muscle is
Iliococcus.
iliococcus, which is this. Okay, the front muscle is the pubicoccus. The lateral one is iliococcus. The lateral one is the iliococcus, and you see this. This is the tendon's arch. This white line here is also referred to white line, tendon's arch, and basically comes from that. So originates from that area, which is this tendon's arch, white line. So this is the iliococcus. This one. You should show to Arina.
Tendinous
Okay.
arch.
So that's what? That's pubococcus, right? And then we have puborectalis. Puborectalis come again from the body of the pubis. Puborectalis is a little bit different muscle. Okay, so what's the importance of puborectalis? You can tell me.
Well, it's important for defecation and continence. Like it's
So how its orientation? Who can tell me its orientation?
like 2 puborectalis come together and then they
Joint.
unite.
Right, exactly. So what happens is that, so you have this, hold this. So this is the rectum here. So puborectalis go like this on either side and circles around the rectum and then connects at this end here. And also, so you have an angle. So it pulls this. I'm going to break this. So it's like this. It pulls it. So this is the rectum, okay? So you have the angle here. And so that's how it is normally. And that basically the importance of this is that you don't want the feces to go out. Okay, so it basically prevents feces to go out. It's like, temporarily storing in the anal canal. Okay, this angle. So when defecation occurs, this muscle relaxes and it straightens up little, and then you can, the stool basically passes through it easily. So basically, this muscle, rectoanalis muscle, is an important muscle in defecation process. And some people, when they get due to this, sometimes maybe the muscle won't work, okay, due to the contraction and, maybe other effects, causes, would not relax this. But you have to get this in this alignment. So like, they would put their thigh upwards. So when they put their thigh upwards, they're doing this so they can get this in a straight line. And that would basically allow you to defecate easily, okay, without, valsalval maneuver, without increasing intra-abdominal pressure, without doing like that. To get the feces out,